Jason, thanks very much for joining us, for making the time to speak to us from the other side of the world. How are you doing?
No, really well, Sam. Yeah, enjoying it. And, sorry we couldn't chat earlier, just with the time difference and the test match at the Gabba that was going on. It was just, just made it a little bit hard. But
no problem. No problem at all. You're a busy man, and it's great to finally get hold of you. Since the announcement that you'll be taking over as head coach here at Sussex, there's been a huge buzz of excitement on social media and around the ground in the town here in Sussex. Is that something you've picked up on over there in Australia?
Yeah, it appears so. It's very humbling. Got a bit unsure how the reaction was going to be perfectly honest, and but to be afforded this opportunity by Sussex first of all is very welcome. As I said, very humbled to be afforded this opportunity, and I suppose the positive reaction probably reinforces my gut feel and my thought that this was a really good opportunity to take up, and I'm really pleased that I suppose people are happy, and I'm delighted to be able to be part of the club for the next few years.
I think a lot of people were surprised, pleasantly surprised certainly, but surprised nonetheless when they found out you'd be joining Sussex, returning to county cricket. What was it that convinced you to take the role?
There was a couple of things, I suppose. I'd spoken to Keith and Rob, and they outlined their sort of, I suppose, dream and their hope for where Sussex will be in the future, and the steps they'd like to see taken, and I think that aligned very closely with how I'd like to operate and go about my work, and in conjunction with everyone there, all the support staff, and I just felt that we were really on the same page, which was great, and also there was a factor because I'd left county cricket to be back at home in Australia. We wanted to take our kids back to Australia, and I certainly wasn't ready to recommit to 12 months of the year on the other side of the world again, because the kids we've just moved into a new house, and we've got the kids settled at their school, and we didn't want to compromise that. So when in the conversations with Rob and Keith, that they feel that we can make it work, pretty much a summer only scenario, that was something that really piqued my interest. And initially my initial thoughts were, look, 12 months of the year back in the UK, probably unlikely, but the opportunity to be able to do the summers and have a bit of time back home in South Australia, and still be able to coach the Adelaide Strikers in the Big Bash League, it then became very appealing. So yeah, really pleased.
And you mentioned your family there, and that obviously is a priority. Sussex prides itself on being a family club. Is that something you've picked up on from your interactions with staff and supporters?
Yeah, certainly, and that's something that has drawn me to the club. They've been, speaking to Rob and Keith, they've been very open and supportive of our situation, and they're really keen to make it work, and we're keen to make it work. There's obviously compromise, both sides, and I think that's been a real hallmark of the discussions, has been just good, honest conversations, and we think as a family we can make it work. I'm certain from a work point of view that won't be a problem. I'll certainly be able to make it work. Because I know some of the support staff at Sussex already. I caught up with John Lewis this week in Brisbane, which was great. Big John Rambo, and we chewed the fat a bit, and I outlined some of my thoughts, and he was on board, and so I genuinely believe that from a work point of view this can work, and as a family we feel that there'll be a couple of trips for the family over the English summer, and we feel that we can make that work in and around the kids' school.
Brilliant. Well, it's a lovely place to be during the summer. I'm sure the family will enjoy those trips.
Yeah, oh, no doubt, and I've also heard there's a lot of nice vegetarian restaurants in Brighton and Hove, so I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely, no, it's a bit of a green heartland down here.
No, beautiful. Well, I'm going to fit right in. I'm an aging Aussie hippie, so I'll fit in well.
Fantastic. I'm not sure the surfing's very good, but.
I'm not a surfer.
No.
I could surf, but yeah, I can't surf. I've got two left feet, so I'm terrible.
Stick to the veggie cafes, then.
Absolutely, I will.
Can you just tell us a bit about how the vacancy first came to your attention, and then the chain of events that led you to taking the job?
No, obviously, I was actually contacted by a friend of mine who said, "Do you mind if I give your number to someone at Sussex? They'd be interested in just having a conversation with you." And I thought, oh, okay. So I didn't think much of it. So I said, of course, pass my number on, and it just went from there, really. I knew that there was change within the club in the recent past, and then when I saw that they were going to be putting out for the head coach position, something I probably, to be honest, at first I didn't think too much about, because I just maybe assumed that it would be a full-time commitment in the UK 12 months of the year, and obviously with my role at the Adelaide Strikers and a couple of other things I'm doing, and the fact that we'd moved back to Australia, it probably wasn't on my radar. But then obviously when Rob got in touch and opened the lines of communication and about what the role could potentially look like, then obviously my interest was certainly piqued. Sussex have got got some young guys coming through, but also some experienced heads. So, I think it's a very good squad. I do it because I love it, I enjoy it, and I really make a point of encouraging the lads to go out there with a smile on their face.